Chile is known as, to the Navajo people of the West, they call us the the enemy Navajo. The United States and Mexican army was still at war. So we're fighting almost in every aspect there was. It's a very sacred place. If you're not welcome there, you'll see a whirlwind.
Is that the one that's kind of like a horseshoe shape?
Yes.
Yeah. I've been up there.
Yeah. The name of that place is called Ye'inazan. They were shackled all the way to little kids, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds. They did a parade right in front of the governor's palace. My name is Marty Monte. Ato na nashlenigi a tobajan aja topaha al soa da a shamada. That's who I am. Ado kiani shajata ishitrada ho. Ado ashi in chait she didn't eat my mom. Told me that was your chase. And then Ado that's your Nully too, stealing my dad. So that's how it is. That's the kind of man that I am. Ado and my traditional name will be Hashkel Chaya. That's my given name.
Okay.
At the Nejako. So that's my name is who I am. Ako yat Ado my mom koto, my grandma from here, from Tohojile. This reservation, Tohojile, it plays a big, huge role all the way back to the Pueblo Revolt. The people here, Tohojile, were messengers for the Pueblo of Acoma, Pueblo of that time Laguna hasn't come yet, because Laguna came until after the Pueblo Revolt. And when the Pueblos declared war against the conquistadors, and we pretty much played a big role in it. Again, like I said, we're messengers we sent messages to the Rio Grande Pueblos in the valley, all the way up to Taos. That, again, that's not written. It's oral.
It's all oral history that's we usually learn from.
Yes. And that story there, you can find that story in the petroglyphs also. Where you'll see that where the mesa, and then way in the back you see that how that plateau comes out right underneath that. And it's a natural spring, and it's a statue of a yei. All natural.
Really?
Standing in the corner. But make sure to take offering there. It's a very sacred place. If you're not welcome there, you'll see a whirlwind. Tohojile is known as, to the Navajo people of the West, in the motherland, they call us the the enemy Navajo. Like the reason why we're very remote, we've always been remote. Always. Since beginning of time, beginning of the creation stories, and all that with the Tohojile people, the Nenai. We always been remote from the big Navajo Nation. We were never part of that. We've always been on the east side of Mount Taylor. And it's right now they call it Sobayeta, but we're called, and then the Spanish, when they came in, they called us Sobayeta Navajos. That was our homeland. That's actually our really actual homeland.
Oh, really?
Our actual root is from Sobayeta, right on the east of Mount Taylor. And our creation story here, they say that we were keepers of that mountain, of Mount Taylor. We're medicine people. We're very warlike people. We go where the fight was at.
Well, also because you guys are at the very edge and isolated, and you're also around other tribes that weren't Dine. Which kind of you always had to be on guard.
We always kept where I guess the people would say we like going where the war was at. If it was peaceful, and then something's wrong, you know.
Yeah.
And then when Fort Sumner came around, when the cavalries came around, started rounding up the Navajos, you know, some of the people, especially the Netka, they say that, oh, we helped the cavalries to round the Navajos up, you know, with Navajo scouts.
And I heard that Tohajili and Alamo were blamed for that.
Yeah, that's what the story behind it. You know, somewhere along the way, that that's where Navajo people, we attend to point fingers.
Yeah.
We love pointing fingers.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't point the finger at ourselves.
Well, it's just like when you ask anybody, like, hey, did you buy the food?
Yeah.
No, I thought you told them to do it.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
Exactly. So, in a way, that story about that is basically not true.
Mm-hmm.
It's not true. Where the United States Cavalry, the government, they figured us as Navajo people as there was one leader for the tribe.
Like one chief.
One chief, like the way the northern plains are, you know. But for us, it was by clan, regions, you know. That's how it was, you know, especially with this reservation here. We had a chief. We had a leader. And he did sold us out to the government. But the people found out. And that's where a place called Largo Canyon came in.
Oh, okay.
And that's where our chief was taken to the north. And our own people took him out there because they found out that what he did was treason.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. That's what the people from the West, that's how they blame us. But we found out ourselves, but we took care of it on our own. So the people were taken to Fort Sumner, all of that. So in our oral history here, there's actually some of our elders, all the way down to our children. They were shackled.
Yeah.
They were shackled all the way to little kids, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds. You know, they did a parade right in front of the governor's palace. This was 2 years before 1864. They were already establishing the fort in Bosque Redondo.
Yep. Because I know this treaty was signed on June 1st of 1868.
Yeah.
So that's 4 years prior.
Yeah. But 2 years before the actual removement, they were already taking Navajos there. They were already slaving them. So elders, they were shackled, they were neck shackled right in front of the governor's palace in Santa Fe. So they were taken from here into Albuquerque, up into the Rio Grande Valley, into San Domingo area, and all the way into Santa Fe. Santa Fe back down into Pecos, and then back down into Fort Sumner. So that's our story here. That was done, you know. But still, yet not all of us went, because we had the mountain. So 1864 came, and then the Navajos were removed from the reservation. They were taken to Fort Sumner. But not all Navajos went. In our region here, there's the Navajos from Subieta. They were hiding in the Mount Taylor and all of that. There's more story behind that, though. And so they knew that they were being moved to eastern New Mexico. So this region here was only a garden.
Okay.
This is where the people planted, because it was more a flat area, more of the soil was good to grow crop.
Very fertile.
Yeah,
No harsh weather.
It was really good. It was very nourishing to the people, and so people already knew this area already.
Yeah.
So during that Fort Sumner, every day there was always a horseback rider that pretty much had a rotation. There's a mountain right there on the horseback riders took turns going to the top of that mountain, looking out if somebody got away, somebody they're coming back or what. So a lot of these people were doing ceremonies for them to come home.
So it was like an observation post, pretty much.
Pretty much. And then 1868 came and all that, so the people were to be sent home. So when they were coming back, so that's where they saw them. They saw the people coming back up. And then the message was sent to tell them to come this way. Tell the people to come this way. So the people here starting to get things ready. And in that region, they call it the arrows that were. There's ceremony. There's 4 ceremonies that was done from Fort Sumner back to inside of the Fort Sacred Mountain. Those arrows that was crisscrossed for the Navajo people not to go back. So one was over in Fort Sumner. And then 2 was pretty much close to the Rio Grande Valley. And then the 3rd one was right there. So that's where the arrow was given. There's a shrine there. See, there's a shrine there. Nobody knows. Again, this is oral. It's not even written. The same kind of shrine that was in the Fort Sumner, there's a shrine there. Because that's where the turning point was at. That's where the people make that turn to come this way. And that's when this is where they say the people rested. This is where they got to get medical aid and all that. Yeah. So that's where they say that this is where the first ceremony, the first enemy way ceremony, that's what they say here, before the people went back. That's where the enemy way ceremony was performed again after all those years. So it's done. And after that, then the people went to go ahead and go back. They start heading back. But then we're not out of war yet, though. We're still at war with some other renegades, other ranchers, even Mexican army still. Yeah. Because during that time, the United States and Mexican army was still at war also. Yep. So we're fighting almost in every aspect there was.
So to summarize it into a cinematic movie, it's The Warriors, that film in 1978 where one group had to make their way through New York, but along the way to get back home, they had to fight along the way just to get home.
Just to get home. Yeah, exactly. So over here, still yet, again, we had other tribes that were declaring war party against us. There's still Utes, there's still Comanches, there were still other tribes that were. So we had to go and protect the people, while the people went back west. That's where the Navajo people from the west don't understand that too. Again, when they say, like now, when you go towards like Jedito area, you go into Smoke Signal area, you go into Kayenta area, the way they describe us, it's very offensive. They say, they call us the people that got left behind. Yep. That's what they call it. And then one name they gave us is like the one that died out of hunger. The Chinabas, that's what they call us. And at one time I had to stand up for my people there. Because no, get the story straight. Because hunger didn't kill us. Yeah. We were still at war. We're still at war with all the ranchers and everything. Still, there was still a knot out there. We fought against them. while you and your people and whoever lived out here came home. That spring is very sacred. We had a medicine man that traveled a long ways just to go here. Or late 60s, the reservation here was federally recognized as a band of Navajos. It's like I said, the spiritual aspect. Of course, you know, you and I know that the Navajo people are very spiritual people.